All right, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now, today, the topic I want to talk about is creating a space in your life. And what I mean by this is, well, there's honestly thousands of meanings I mean with this, but I want to talk about it from the perspective of something that I've learned through therapy as of recently. And, a lot of the conversations with my community and my clients have been around consistency, purpose, identity, core values, things that help people become the best version of themselves. But not only best version of themselves, but in regards to the fitness goals, like they have and obtain their fitness goals and become the best version of themselves, because a lot of those two lifestyles coexist and have a lot of similarities. And within that process of becoming the best version of yourself, there is a lot of transitions mentally, a lot of transitions emotionally, a lot of transitions physically, like even your environments, your own body, everything in that regard. And the biggest thing that helps you focus on what's the most important avenues when you're going through this journey. And this journey of transitions, I believe, is almost like an evolution, if you will, because when you're committed to becoming the best version of yourself and you have this goal as to what you want to look like, not just physically, but what you want your life to look like financially, emotionally, physically, what your environment looks like, the people that are around you, your kids, your family dynamic, all of these different layers of life, right? You have every single thing sketched out down to the last pinnacle of existence as to how you want your life to look like, because that's how life is. That's the reality we live, is manifestation. And whatever you believe in, God, religion, frequencies, like spirituality, whatever it is, doesn't really matter, but we are in control, and you got to manifest and create and harvest the life that we have, and you build it. So when you have your all of these life goals, you're kind of committed to evolution, you're committed to change, you're committed to growth, you're committed to these transitions on many fucking levels. And one thing that I love about where I'm at with my own fitness journey right now in terms of creating space is, like, I've been going to the gym, I would like to say, for 10 years, like, consistently. There's been like 2 or 3 years within there with injuries, but that didn't stop me from working out. I just didn't go to the gym and train weights. I ended up having to learn how to move my body in a lot of different manners that were new to me. I did a lot of yoga, calisthenics, a lot of like functional, just like movement patterns for rehab, and just like really focusing on getting my body in a functional state based on the several injuries I had going on. So I never not paid attention to my movement. And where I'm at right now, the level of training to try to go to nationals as a bodybuilder and get my body to look a specific way on stage come October 3rd, I'm still learning new things. So when you think about learning new things, even though I've been going to the gym, I've had several coaches, I even run a coaching business, work with coaching communities, I'm still learning new things after a decade plus in the gym. So it's like there's been multiple, even right now and in the beginning, transitions. So the reason why I want to kind of give all of that back, not say backstory, but kind of frame it in that regard before I talk about creating space, is the way that you manage these transitions and really do what's the most important is by creating space within your life to articulate what it is you need within that and within those transitions. And why the reason why I'm emphasizing that and like creating space for you to really articulate to yourself emotionally, physically, mentally what's going on is because these transitions, depending on what they are in your life, they're very, very heavy. New jobs, new environments, a lot of anxiety. New gym, new goals, a lot of anxiety. New nutrition habits when you're, if you have a negative relationship with food, whether it's binging or turning to it for emotionals, whatever, a lot of anxiety. If you're also coming from an area of your life where you're just truly unhappy and want change, and you have a lot of resentment, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, then there's depression there, right? So these transitions create a lot of emotional upkick. And obviously in the very beginning, this emotional state you're going to become in when you're transitioning from different goals and different parts of your life is going to be the heaviest and the hardest, because you're doing the beginning is the hardest, when you first confront yourself and admit you're not happy in certain areas, like, and then admit that you need to change, and then learn how to change, and then put in the work to change, to get used to doing the work that you are to change. Like, there's many levels of that is the hardest. But the reason why it clicked for me recently is because I've been doing this for a long time. And I just started therapy probably about 2 months ago, and I had a session this week. And the biggest thing that he emphasized was, like, with me personally, with me being one of his clients is I'm already a very reflective person. I really do indulge on just on learning. I really like to learn because again, you can change your reality. You really change your perspectives on life and find a lot of it's liberating to learn things and grow and adapt. And so for the concept with me and him, he said he's not giving me any information that I don't already really know. He's not giving me anything that I don't already have access to. But what he's doing is he's allowing me to create space within my life, within these areas that are still transitioning based on different circumstances in my life, to articulate them better. And obviously going through therapy, these transitions in my life are really heavy conversations in regards of like my own self-confidence and self-actualization throughout the life that I've created, family dynamics, confidence dynamics, and just generalized life things that just come up throughout life, right? We all have these things. And, that may be the top 1% as to where you take your life and you're digging deep in terms of your internal mind frame as to what you need to get out of life. But the whole concept of creating space, when I learned that and had that kind of self-reflection into things I'm trying to still like kind of work on, made me reflect on the last like 5 to 10 years of my life of how many times that I had so much anxiety and animosity and just this pent up energy because I wasn't allowing myself space through these transitions. And what I mean by that, like exactly when it comes to your fitness goals, like in the beginning stages of changing your life, whether it's a relationship dynamic, your own relationship with yourself, fitness goals and everything, career, whatever it may be, is those transitions are usually the longest. Like success loves momentum and momentum loves speed. So that when you start to see more success, you start to become be in more momentum. And when you're in momentum, things happen faster. So for me at my level, it's not saying other people's success doesn't come as fast, but I've been doing this for a long time. So for me to shift my life and shift my body and shift my mindset and everything I need to get into different positions, I'm a lot more accustomed to that. And an exact example of that is if you work a 9 to 5 and you're trying to change your careers to get more freedom, to get yourself in opportunities, the hardest transition is getting out of that 9 to 5, figuring that out, right? And the same thing with your fitness goals. Like the hardest thing is getting into momentum with meal prepping, structuring your food down place. And the hardest thing is getting regimented in the gym and going consistently. So the beginning stages of these transitions at the very beginning of your journey is the longest. They take the longest to adapt. They take the longest to accumulate and see success, right? You don't lose 10 pounds of fat overnight. You don't gain 10 pounds of muscle overnight. You don't change your career overnight. Like those beginning stages at the foundation of you changing your life are the longest transitions. And there's only so much you can do with so much time. So you have to allow space within your life to really just allow your body to transition. Like it's literally as cheesy as it is. Like you go to the gym for an hour and the rest of your day is tailored to eating right and recovering for that 1 hour of work you put in. So it's the same concept, like 23 hours of the day outside of that 1 hour workout is tailored to the recovery. The giving your body and time and mind space to recover so the next day you go in for that hour, you get that full functioning workout. So it's the same thing when you're trying to change your career or change your emotional state or change your relationships or any other goal. Like you can only do what you need to do at that time to get you to that next level, and then allow yourself to create space so you don't drag on negative emotions that you don't need to allow everything to catch up when you can. Like nutrition wise, if you're struggling with nutrition, all you can do is take one meal at a time, and create space within that. Meal prep once or twice a week to make sure you're set up for success. Create space within that. You're doing what you need to do. Just do it long enough to see success to the standard that you want. Same with workouts, right? You're not going to change your life in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe not even 3 to 6 months, right? But again, do your workouts, do what you need to do, and then create space within all of the other stuff in between because you're doing the work. And when I had that kind of realization, I thought it was just super impactful because it's not a topic that I touched on, nor has it been a topic that our community touched on in regards of showing up and becoming your best version of yourself. And I thought it was incredibly impactful because now for me personally, the biggest thing I'm working on is just being more present within the life that I'm creating or have created, I should say. That's even like that I'm trying to catch. I'm not creating the life. I already created it and now I'm just making it more of what I want. And just being more present in the life and just enjoying it. When I work, but when I'm done work, like I'm really not working. And that's something I've struggled with for a long time. And half of that's because I really do love what I love. I love what I do. I love scaling and I love like focusing on new things and learning. But also the other part of that is I don't really know who I am outside of the things I've built and I've done. So I got to give myself space to just fill this space up with the things that make me feel good. And it's not like I'm going to wake up one day and just know what makes me tick and makes me feel good in these regards. But again, as long as I each day, each week, incrementally allow myself space within these areas that I'm working on, it'll fill up with things that make me feel good because I'm allowing myself the opportunity to be present, to take advantage of those things that I need to, and give myself some time to heal throughout that process. Because again, no matter where you're at with your journey, when you're making changes to patterns that have been one way for so many fucking years, how do you expect it to change overnight? I'm 31 years old. It's August. My birthday is next month. We turn 32, and it's like I got some of these patterns that are wired in my brain for 32 years. Do you think it's going to take 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months or maybe even upwards of 3 years to change those, like entirely? Like, no, like I'm going to be living with these for a long time, right? So again, it's like that space we create allows our body to catch up with those transitions, to cement them and trust us that these things are real, right? But honestly, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in, and I thought this was an incredibly eye-opening thing for me. So if it's eye-opening for me, I can imagine it's eye-opening for you guys as well. And just appreciate you guys as usual. So if you guys need anything from me, as always reach out. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys all. Let's keep leading from the front and keep setting those fucking standards off. Let's get it.